Welcome to Games Overboard. I'm PJ.
I'm Dan. And we're all alone.
How are you?
I'm getting over being sick.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
You left Shannon and I all alone.
I was sick. Did you want me to go all over you guys?
How are you? No, this is when you say, great, because I beat you in Viticulture.
We were gonna get to that. Like, I was gonna save the gloating, but if you're gonna be a dick, I kicked your ass only by one fucking point.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's as extreme as you put it, but I mean, you won. It was literally on a technicality because you had more money than me.
What's your point? Money talks, bitch.
Damn.
Fuck you. I knew it. I fucking knew you had those. Fuck you. I'm gonna burn them.
Dan.
I'm gonna fucking burn them.
Dan.
You keep this up, I'm not giving you your present.
Dan.
What?
What do you call a pair of bananas? Slippers. Dan.
What?
Why did the banana go to the doctor?
I don't fucking know.
It wasn't peeling very well. All I have is banana jokes here. Dan.
What?
What do dentists receive as awards?
I don't know.
A little plaque.
God damn it, that was stupid. It was the laugh that did it.
What do you call an old snowman?
I don't know.
Water.
No, that would be a hot snowman.
Okay, anyways. How are you?
Still getting over being sick. Like, seriously, you remember the being roommates with Jigsaw?
Oh, God.
That, all I could think of was, Gary. Gary, what? I want to play a game.
Oh, man. All right, so, yeah, we played another Stegmaier game today.
Yeah.
This one is one I've been wanting to play for literally years, but I've only owned it for about a year now. And finally, the reason why we're reviewing it is because I was given the expansion from the company to review. And it's like, well, now we have to play the game.
Yeah, we got to do it. So I know you have played it before, the base game.
Yeah.
I have not. I have not played this game before, and we played exclusively the expansion, which...
Yeah, Tuscany. So we played Viticulture Tuscany.
So
today.
With what I'm seeing here and what you're telling me, there's so much more shit that you can do in this than you can do in the base game. And I think I would have hated it just on the base game alone. Or not hated it, I think I would have been more frustrated.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, and people who follow us on Facebook, you probably have seen, I've posted several pictures in the past year of the game set up, and of me saying I'm learning the rules of Viticulture, and that was base game Viticulture. Every time I posted a post about that, and every time I would, like, walk away from it in, like, a half hour. It's so boring. But then Tuscany arrived, and I've heard from, like, everyone, like, you need to play with Tuscany. You need to play with Tuscany. And now there's a new one where it's a cooperative game.
Ooh.
And it's called Viticulture World. And so you're working together to, like, fill line orders and, like...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you're running, like, I don't know exactly, but, I guess we're working together as one wine company to fill orders from the game.
Okay, that's pretty neat.
So anyways, don't play base Viticulture.
I'm going to tell you with this one, you gave me a run for my money, but you're up against an actual farmer.
Yeah.
So I kind of had a pretty good idea of what I was doing once I started getting the hang of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is fun. This is something that I would definitely play again as a one-on-one or even as a full complement of, what is it, 4?
It goes up to 6.
It goes up to 6.
Can you imagine this as 6 people?
I can tell you JB would fucking hate us.
I feel like it'd be a long game.
Oh, yeah.
A really long game.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it felt like forever just getting up to 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
But, man, it's good. It's a really good game.
It is.
I didn't expect it to hurt my brain as much as it did. So let's get into what the game is real quick. It's a worker placement game, which we've done a couple reviews of now, where you put a worker down on a space and you get whatever stuff is on that space. Most of it is like training new workers or giving a tour to get some money. Or
I loved that, giving a tour once I got that taste testing.
Yep. And then you have to like plant your vines, and then you have to harvest your vines and to get the grapes, and then you have to turn the grapes into wine.
Right. And that what you have left over when it comes to winter ages your grapes. If you have wine already made, it ages your wine.
Yeah, every year you get to age. You get to age everything a little bit more, which I love.
And the grapes once you reach a threshold, you can't age them anymore. Your wine, you can age as long as you have a big enough storage facility. It starts as in a small cellar, and if you don't have anything bigger, you can only age your stuff up to the max, which is 3.
Yeah.
If you get yourself a medium cellar, which is going to cost you some money, or in this case, it's lira, that's going to cost you, but now you can double that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can also make one more type of wine that you couldn't in your small cellar. So in your small cellar, you can only make white wine or red wine. In your medium cellar, you can now do a rosé.
Yeah.
And then if you do your largest cellar, you go up to your highest. You now tripled what you can do.
Yeah, you can get up to 9 as your level of grapes.
And now, not only do you have your red wines, your white wines, your rosés, but you also have sparkling wine that you can put in there. And each thing, I got really lucky because I didn't have any of those until my last order. I didn't have anything like that until my last order came in.
Yeah.
And that last order, I was like, oh, shit. I'm glad PJ just told me how to do this because I just got these and I need to do it fast. And that's how to take your grapes and turn them into these others. And there's a nice little key here on your player card for your cellar. But all it says is one white grape and 1 red grape equals a rosé, but it doesn't tell you what number correlates with. Yeah,
you need the number values to add up to whatever number value it's going to make of the rosé, you know?
Right.
If you want a number 6 rosé, that means you need like a white value of 3 and a red value of 3, or
a combination of the two.
Or a combination that adds up to 6, yeah.
Right. Which, I mean, that was pretty neat.
Yeah. It's a really, really clever way. And, like, this was his first game. Jamey Stegmaier's first game.
I think he did great. And you can... I know we always go back to it because it was one of our first Stegmaier games, or Stonemaier games, Scythe. You can see the skeleton of Scythe in this game. Not just with your player cards and how... I mean, it really is kind of like a point-and-click game. Just like Scythe is, but you get that idea of I can only do this once. But if I use another character, which is the Grande workers, I can override somebody because of my player is bigger.
Yeah,
type of thing, you know. And that's the only time that you can do it, and I use that to my advantage against you so many times.
Yeah, like Dan said, you definitely see where a lot of the mechanisms of Scythe were born in this game. Like your player mat and just getting these buildings and plopping them on the mat, you know, and things like that. Yep. And having extra workers that you can accumulate. But in Scythe, like everything has a spot on your map. Or on your mat, like, you know, it's a dual-layered mat, and so everything kind of, like, nestles into place.
This one doesn't. It just kind of sits on top.
Yeah, but everything does have its own spot. Like, when you buy the irrigation building, like, there's a special spot where you put it on the mat. When you buy a trellis, that goes in a special spot, things like that. So
right. Your
and even the windmill, little wooden token is the windmill token.
It's the windmill token from
Scythe.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, and it's so great.
So real quick, let's go over our components here. The components, so it's like any Stegmaier game that you pick up in the store.
Yep.
You've got your cards.
Mm-hmm.
You have your really nice feeling boards here. I mean, like your player board, it's got a bit of a texture to it. It's got that Stegmaier quality.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell like there is a lot of love put into this.
Mm-hmm.
The artwork on it it's not like blow your mind, but it is pretty.
Yeah, I think it's a gorgeous game. Yeah.
It is pretty. I've seen, don't get me wrong, I've seen
much more
gorgeous
better
games.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is pretty for what it is, because it's not going for realistic. It's going more for like a rustic.
It looks like Italian artwork you would see in,
like an Italian
on the
restaurant.
walls of an Italian restaurant.
It's really nice. And everything is clearly defined. You know what you're looking at. You can see a field. That you're going to harvest your field. You're in a field.
Yeah.
You need to go and train people. Well, there's a building for training. Like, there's nothing left up to interpretation.
Yeah.
Everything is not only clearly labeled, but just based on what you see, you already get an idea of like, oh, well, okay, that's what this building does.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. You get your wooden pieces, and you do have some workers in here, which are meeple-like. Because they're not exactly meeples.
Yeah, it's the typical, like, Stegmaier always has, like, custom meeples, and that's what these are for sure. They are all the same shape, which something from Scythe, which was his game immediately after Viticulture, where each faction had different shaped meeples.
Right.
Where here, they're all
it's all the same,
shape,
just different colors.
which is fine, yeah.
So, since we have the base here, you get these coins, your lira, and of course, these are just really thick cardstock.
Yeah.
Here, which they're not bad, but
we broke out the.
We had to break out the
Libertalia coins.
Yeah, Libertalia coins, because they sound so much better.
Yes.
They feel so much better. They sound so much better, and because it's a Stegmaier game, it fits into this easy. Like it's so versatile. These coins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like honestly, if we play other games like Dino Island again, first of all, I'm bringing my version so we can play with those coins.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
If we didn't have those coins, like these coins would fit in just perfectly for Dinosaur Island.
Absolutely.
There is one thing in this game that you don't see in a lot of Stegmaier games. That's these little glass pieces. You get these little glass. They're half rounds.
Yeah.
And they
symbolize your grapes.
Yeah, they sit on your
grapes and your wine.
Your grape
crush pads. And then they transfer into your cellar when you turn your grapes into wine.
Right. And that is pretty neat. I thought that was a really cool addition to this because it's clear. So you put it on, whether you have red or white, and it still captures that color of like, so hey, look at that. I've got, okay, those are my red wines. And what is this?
I'll give you some jokes.
Are we joking off?
If you want to.
This sounded bad.
Hey, I have something to show you.
Okay.
It's a dark story.
Splish splash, motherfucker.
This is called Splish Splash.
I was taking a bath.
So, just to preface this.
Yeah.
We did a crossover episode with the podcast Full Send Rejects. Okay?
Okay.
And
I did not know this.
Yes.
When was this?
Just last week.
Oh, this is when I was away.
So shout out to you guys. Full Send Rejects.
Hi guys, sorry I missed you.
So Anthony, this is the one you did.
Oh God.
See how Dan does.
I'm gonna kill you.
So we're there because Anthony listens to the show. He and Billy and
really.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I start going Anthony. The same way I do it to you.
Don't piss me off.
And he's like, "Well, what's wrong? What's wrong?" I go, It's time for a dark story. He goes, oh my God, no! So.
That's too good. I love it.
Tim is sailing his boat when his watch fell overboard.
Okay, I gotta stop you right there. As soon as you said Sally's boat, I just thought of...
Cartman?
Well, not Cartman, but just the song. I'm sorry. I'm sailing away.
You have to finish it.
God damn it!
All right. Tim is sailing his boat when his watch falls overboard.
Oh, no!
He is a great diver, period.
Okay.
However, he does not manage to retrieve the watch.
Okay, so I'm just going to go full dark, especially because of the fucked up fever dreams I had. He jumped overboard, he rotated, smashed his head off the bow, and he fucking drowned.
No.
All right. I don't know, he couldn't see, it was in the dark.
No.
A fish ate it.
No.
It was actually in a pond, and a kid scooped it up because he was a little shitbag.
No.
Am I close?
No.
Okay, is it on a large body of water?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they on a lake?
No.
Okay, a marina.
No.
All right. Just a pond.
No.
They're
Larger.
on the ocean.
Smaller.
Smaller. A river.
No.
Fuck you. Okay.
Should we come back to it?
Yeah, they're in a pool, aren't they?
No.
Little fuckers are in a pool.
We said it was just a body of water. Why was the pony having difficulty singing?
I don't know why.
He's a little hoarse.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There was a huge explosion at the cheese factory. Debris was everywhere.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
How did the porcupine win the basketball game?
I have no idea.
He had the most points.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I heard you got a bad bladder infection. You're in trouble.
You're in...
Hey, what do you call a sheep dressed as a skeleton?
What?
Bad to the bone.
Oh my God. Why was the broom late to the meeting?
I have no idea.
It overswept.
Oh my.
So let's talk about things that work in this game.
Okay, the things that work in this game. The turn system is, I mean, just like most Stegmaier games, it's so simple. And a lot of worker placement, it's your turn, you take a move, you're done.
Yep.
Next player. Now, I've got it. We started this game off dirty because you have roosters as your pieces that tell you what time you're going to get up. Now, your times start at 1 a.m. and they run all the way to 7 a.m. And these roosters, of course, PJ pulls out these roosters and says, hey, excuse me, let's pull out our cocks. So you dirty son of a bitch. Mine was a little gangrenous, so but I still had the green cock. But what was really cool about that is that was how you determined who went first, who got up the earliest. But you also have pros and cons to getting up at certain times. During each season, because this game is broken up into 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Your spring, summer.
Yeah, base game's only
winter.
2. It's just summer and winter.
So with this one, depending on what time you get up during the new season, you may get, at the start of your turn, you may get a new card. You may get a certain type of card to pick up, or you could get a victory point just by taking that spot and getting up at, 6? Was that what it was?
6, yeah.
6 a.m. In the summer. The 7 a.m. slot basically ensures that you're going to be one ahead of everybody else.
Because you get an extra worker.
Because you get an extra worker, and you also get a little bundle of grapes, which is a detriment to you after the fact.
Yeah.
Because now after the fact, if you have those grapes, you are now the first player to go. You have to go at the 1 a.m. slot.
You have to go first.
You have
on
to
the
go
next
first.
turn.
And the 1 a.m. slot,
You don't
it's
get
great.
any
You
extras.
don't get anything. Like, yay, I get to go first, but you don't get any help. You don't get any extra cards when you progress through the seasons,
Mhm.
you get nothing.
Yeah.
You lose. Well, you don't lose, but sorry, going for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory there.
You lose!
You lose! You get nothing! But you really have to pick and choose your battles. Like, when do I want to go first? When do I want to get these things? When do I want to screw over the other person?
Yeah.
That's what I always go for. When can I screw over PJ in this time?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's kind of like how
That's how we operate.
it is.
That's
And
what we do.
it's always how anybody else who plays with us, usually Angie, wins.
Uh-huh. Which she reminds us of
Constantly.
frequently, yeah.
Yes.
All the time. Yeah, but I have the original board here out to show you.
This board, I'm sorry, the expansion board looks incredible compared to this.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks pretty, it looks good, but it's a little busy. And it's hard to see things such as your time tracker here. Like when you get up, I actually had to look to see that.
Maybe it's because I've seen the board a whole lot.
Possible.
I have like no issues
seems-
with the original board.
So like the expansion is busy as well, but it's pleasing.
Mhm.
And it's more spread out. And this one looks cramped and
I do like how it looks more natural. Where like in the new one, like everything's in columns. You know, like all the spring things are in a column.
I get that, but it also still looks natural if you look at it outside of that kind of frame.
Continue.
What the fuck was that?
That was my reminder to put the garbage out. But tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so the garbage people aren't coming to get the garbage, so that reminder is moot.
Oh, so you just have to wait for that crazed guy to come out with a 6-shooter and say, Garbage Day!
No!
God, that movie was fucking bad. You didn't think I was coming up with that one, did you? So it looks so. You say that you know everything looks like they're in columns on the new board, and you know I'm not going to fault you. They kind of do, but if you look at it outside of
the graphic design,
if you look at it outside of,
if you look at the art, not the icons.
Yes, not the icons. Don't even look at the top portion of the map that give you those different cards for every season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it does run nicely together. Like, it really does. It does feel like it's a natural laid out space.
It's easier to follow for
Absolutely.
sure in the expansion because of the seasons being in columns or anything. Like
Right.
you know exactly what season you're going to be in and what actions you can do.
Right. Now, the one thing I did like about this, and I think it did help you eventually, or it did help you at first. I thought it did hurt you a little bit later on, was you sold your field. And you can sell these fields for
whatever their value is, 5,
is.
6, or 7.
Right, and that'll help you in a pinch.
Yeah.
But there are other ways to make your money
Yeah.
that I think you probably should have taken, but I know you wanted to screw me over as fast as you could.
Yeah, I panicked.
And it did. It worked.
It did.
It worked.
And I ended up not needing that field.
Right. I didn't use my field until the end.
Yeah.
And I still, how many did I complete? Like 3?
Something.
Three or 4.
Whatever. Yeah.
You know, 3 or 4 orders.
Mm.
So I really didn't need that third field.
Yeah.
But you come with those 3 fields right off the bat. You don't have to buy them or unlock them. Like, you get all 3 fields as soon as you start the game, which is really, really nice.
Are you like...
That was me. Why'd you kick me?
Are your legs like Mr. Fantastic's legs? You're sitting straight up, but your feet are like all the way fucking over here.
I'm taller than you.
By an inch!
I need to stretch!
Like, if I do that, like, I'm not there. I'm not...
Playing
Oh my. Take my lira.
Oh my Lanta. Don't give me that look. Anyway,
So he was a great diver, and he couldn't get his watch.
is it a deep body of water?
Yeah. But that's not it.
I don't know.
He's still a great diver. He could have held his breath and gotten down there. But
But what?
we'll find out.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, I was so hungry yesterday at 8 o'clock. It was really time consuming.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had a belt made of watches.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was a waste of time.
Yeah, it usually is. I recently bought a pair of shoes from a drug dealer. God, I was tripping all day.
If you think Thursdays are bad, wait a few days for a Saturday.
Did you know French fries aren't actually from France?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they actually come from Greece.
Huh. You know, dogs can't operate the MRI machine,
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
but cats can.
Oh, I just dropped all my shit. What do chefs call fake noodles?
What?
Impastas!
That was a good one.
Ow.
Yeah, that one got me.
I think it was the delivery.
What did the zebra say to the piano?
I don't know.
Dad?
Oh. If you arrange the letters of postmen, they get really upset.
Did you hear about Bruce Lee's vegan brother?
No.
Broccoli?
Oh, dear God, that was dumb. I dreamt of being a muffler last night. I woke up exhausted.
What did the zoo name the camel with no humps?
I have no idea.
Humphrey.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is one for Shanna,
Okay.
because I'm sure she'll listen at some point. What did the bug say to the flower in the spring?
I have no idea.
Hey, bud. Excellent.
Okay, and this one's just one of my favorite ones. Guy walks into a bar. Well, a pirate walks into a bar, sits down at the stool, and the bartender looks and says, notices something a little different. He says, hey, buddy, I see that you got the the steering wheel of your boat lodged between your legs. The pirate says, it be driving me nuts.
That one's great.
I love that joke. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so what do we got for cons for this game?
How you make an egg roll?
I don't know.
You push it.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
So, cons, in terms of cons, base game, I have several. One, personally, I think it's quite boring. There's not a lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I can totally see that.
And, like, there's my biggest complaint that the expansion fixes is pretty much the only way to make points. I mean, there are a couple ways, but the biggest way is to fill wine orders. But to get to that point takes a while.
In the base game?
In the base game. Because, like,
okay.
I mean, I guess it's the same as the expansion, but without any extra things to do, and you just don't have as much of that forward momentum, I feel.
Okay.
As you do in the expansion.
I get that. I think the well, I mean, I can't really say much because this is my first time playing it, but I think it felt better because of the competition. Always trying to one-up each other.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was doing this as a solo game, you can guarantee I'd probably be bored.
Yeah. And that's something I haven't even tried the automa of this yet, so I don't know what the solo is like. I just did like two-handed, like, you know, I had a player 1 set up and player 2 set up, and I just ran both players so I could get familiar with the rules and everything.
Right.
Yeah, but like every time, usually I can find, even if I'm not having fun, I can still see the puzzle in it and see how it would be fun with 2 players.
Right.
But
for this, I think the best thing about it is that having a rivalry, trying to have an opponent to go against and to try and one up every turn.
Yeah, because as soon as you see someone get a victory point, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, like, fuck.
Like,
now I need to get one. How am I going to do that?
Yeah, so as soon as that happens, like, the race is on.
Right. And I mean, most games like that's how you and I play.
Yeah.
That's our mentality.
For most games, the points come easy. In this game, like, it's pretty rare, especially early game, to get points.
You have to work for it.
Yeah. So when someone finally gets that first victory point, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, I gotta scramble now. But I feel like that's just the way that you and I play.
Yeah.
We are very, very much into trying to best one another.
Yeah, there's always a rivalry between us. Very similar to a sibling rivalry, Jesus, we're practically siblings.
We are. I mean, holy crap. 24 years?
God, yeah, 24 years. We've known each other.
That's scary. And this is why we think alike when it comes to a lot of games. And it's funny because we'll play these games with other people and they'll be like, did they just make the same move? Have they played this before? And it'll be the first time we played a game. We'll be like, no, it's the obvious choice.
My favorite was still the game that Owen got us. Freedom of Speech, it's called. Oh
my god, yeah.
And where it's kind of like Taboo or those games, but it's like horrible topics, and the first one I pick up was pedophile. It's the first card I pick up. And immediately, I knew that Dan would get the clue. No one else at the table would understand it, except maybe Shanna, because she's a Red versus Blue fan too. And I said, the thing that babies suck on.
You mean a pedophile? No, dude, that's a pacifier.
Oh, I was totally thinking of something else.
No, I'm a pacifist. Wait, you're that thing babies suck on? No, dude, that's a pedophile. Pacifier!
It's a pacifier, Tucker.
Oh, right, I was thinking of something else.
Real classy.
One of my favorite lines from that is still, hey, man, like my dad always says, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Rookie, did you just call my girlfriend a cow? No, dude, I think you called her a slut.
Look, you can insult my girlfriend all day. My favorite scene in the whole series, well, not the whole series, because I haven't seen the whole series, but of the Blood Gulch Chronicles.
The best part.
Is when he goes through the teleporter and the camera zooms forward to where the portal opens up. And he doesn't show. And for like 10 seconds, the camera's going from the empty field to them. Empty field to them. Huh. I think I'm going to walk. That's a good choice.
Hey, they've got a car. Oh, yeah? What's it look like? I don't know, like a big cat. Like a puma? Yeah, there you go.
What kind of animal has tusks?
A walrus.
What did I tell you about making up animals? Listeners, if you haven't seen Red vs. Blue, watch it on YouTube because it's censored on Netflix.
Wait, it's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Why would you put it on Netflix?
Because they're like a legit company now. They have like Michael B. Jordan doing voice work for them.
What?
Yeah.
No! No! I don't believe that. Oh my god.
They're also a shadow of their former selves.
Well, that I do believe.
Controversies and all kinds of horrible stuff.
That I do believe.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I just can't watch them anymore because they're not the same anymore. They're just not.
I mean,
none of the original guys are there. Most and the ones who are like all in upper management, so you don't really see them.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
That is a shame. And the funniest thing for me is, was it Donut, right? The guy that played Donut was like a working actor.
No, that was Joel Caboose, the guy that played Caboose.
Caboose, that's right. A working actor in Los Angeles.
He was on Angel.
That was the show. It's like, that's so cool. But it just, no. I did love the stuff that they did when we were in college, when they did the shorts. And I know we're way off topic now, guys. I'm so sorry. But the live shorts that they did.
Oh, they were so good.
I know.
Catch.
Yes,
Catch is the best.
Catch is one of my favorite, like, hands down favorite sketches of any kind, like, of all time.
Yeah.
It's just so... It starts out so innocent, and then it gets more and more ridiculous.
Yeah.
For those listeners, just check out Rooster Teeth Productions.
Their early
stuff. Look up the sketch called Catch.
Yep. And look up Red vs. Blue. The first 5 seasons are so good. You're going to see... So, again, for listeners, we're off topic, but I don't care, because it's Red vs. Blue. So, what happens is they made their own TV show, and they filmed it all with Halo.
It was one of the first
Machinima. Yeah. And so... you're going to see Halo and think it's about Halo. You need no knowledge of Halo. It's just this great story about idiots in a war that they don't understand.
They're idiots in a war where it's just two sides in a box canyon, and there's nobody else. And they're fighting, and they don't know why. Both sides don't know why. They're just doing it.
And it's so funny. It is so great. So many people with military backgrounds watch it, and they're like, oh my god, I totally understand all of this right now. Our boss, John, he thought it was amazing.
Yep.
Anyways, so is there anything that didn't work for you in this game?
For me,
because I'm very familiar with the rules. I have the digital version of the game that I've played a couple times.
I can't feel like right now I can't think of anything where I was like, oh, that was weird, that was stupid, why'd they do that? Because it just flows really well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think it's also because of the way that you and I interact with each other with games like this. It's very competitive. It's always trying to one-up each other. It's always trying to find that way where I'm going, ooh, I know what you're going to do next, and I'm going to screw you next. Oh, I'm going to get you bad this time. And I think that's where the fun comes from for me, is like being able to one-up each other and block each other from doing something like, oh, you son of a bitch, I needed to do that.
It's why we love board games so much, too. It's like you can look the person in the eye when you like put that worker in the spot that you know they need.
I know you can outdo me on this part, but that's going to screw you over for my next turn. And that is to me, that is a lot of fun. Like I'm not as huge of a board game geek fan, as you are.
Yeah.
Because I will take in just about any kind of medium at least once. If I don't like it, you will definitely hear I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the thing that keeps bringing me back is the experiences that we have. Of course, the biggest reason that I know you wanted to make this podcast to begin with, besides to play games, was the stories that you can tell.
Yeah.
And I know with us especially, we don't come up with stories in the way of, oh, well, this happened and our characters are doing this and we're doing this. It's a lot of our stories come from, so this happened, and then that son of a bitch blocked me when I really needed to do this.
Yep.
And these games, a lot of these games that we play are like that, but there are other games that do lend to the whole, we can build a world, a story out of the world that's around us.
Yeah.
One of my favorites that we've done recently is still the, what was that, 1942, what was that called? The World War II game.
Memoir 44.
Memoir 44, that's right. Memoir 44. Because we actually, and I did get to talk about this when we were doing the podcast on it, was you actually get to play these historic battles. What's that face for?
It's just Reddit joke.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I can't put it on the thing.
No.
I can't.
Oh, God. But you're playing these real battles, these historic battles, and you get to go through and what the fuck? But you get to basically passively live these battles.
Yeah.
And you do get the history behind them. And that's what draws me to a lot of war games, especially games set in World War I, World War II, is like, I get to get a little bit of history in this and get a sense of like, this is almost what it was like. This is fucking terrifying. Yeah,
like the first Brothers in Arms
video
God,
game. That game was
They
amazing.
used like satellite picture, or not satellite, but spy plane aerial images to rebuild the towns. And
that stuff is just fascinating to me.
Yeah, it was incredible. Any other complaints, nitpicks, or anything with this game? I don't really have anything.
No,
it's a good, solid game.
Exactly. I think it would be too boring for me in a single player.
Yeah,
I think it
agree.
moves a little slow as a single player.
Yeah.
But with somebody, at least one other person there to go against, I think it's the perfect pace.
Yep. To quote Shanna in our last episode, this is the kind of game where you can have a conversation around the game happening. Like, like this game does hurt my head. Like I was thinking a lot during this game, and just trying to plan my move and everything. But you could just like casually just play this game and still have a good time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
And this is surprisingly easy.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Considering, like my big thing was I was very concerned about the whole grape thing, like planting the vines and then harvesting it to put the grapes on your mat and then aging the grapes and then combining the grapes to make the wine and then aging the wine and selling the wine to, and it all sounds on paper so complicated. But it isn't.
It does, but it's not complicated at all. I was going to say this is one of the easier games that we've played to just pick up.
Yeah. Especially compared to his newest worker placement game. Well, not his, but Stegmaier,
yeah.
Newest worker placement game, Apiary.
Apiary is, and we said this during our review of that, like, it's a great game. We had a lot of fun.
It was a great game.
It is busy as fuck. I know I just missed a great opportunity to say it's as busy as a bee, but no, it's busier than that. It's busy as fuck. Like, it's daunting.
Mm-hmm.
And, even our playthrough with the four of us, there are one or two things that we just plain did not do.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on.
Yeah. Even here, one thing I really appreciate is that the expansions, because this is the Tuscany box comes with, technically it's 3 expansions in one box.
Oh,
we had all 3 of them out at once.
Really?
Yeah. There's the extended board.
Okay.
Which we had.
Yeah, we got that.
There is the building cards and the extra building mat.
Okay, yeah.
And then there are these guys, which we did not touch at all. The extra workers. So that is something where if you notice that there's part of the game that you don't use, don't incorporate it next time you play.
Right.
Or maybe focus on it and try to make that part of your playstyle if you want to change things up.
Right.
So it's really cool how it's a modular set like that, and you don't have to use everything if you don't want to.
Exactly.
If you want to use the small board and the special workers, you can still do that. Mm-hmm. Or the small board and the building cards, you can do that too.
Right.
That's really cool that you can mix and match like that.
Yeah, and it's a fun game. This is something that I say we definitely come back to and play again.
Yeah, yeah.
Just in our free time.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is that? Free time.
It is Thanksgiving break.
For you.
Yep.
I get to go eat lunch, and then go right to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get to do that Friday as well.
That's no good. Any favorite moments from tonight?
Yeah, seeing you pull ahead of me when it comes to the victory points, only to finish one of my orders to pull right up next to you, and then still be able to pull out a win.
Because you had more money.
Because of, well, 2 things. I had a card that, well, I didn't have a card. I had the tasting room set up.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I go give a tour at the tasting room and I have wine in my cellar, I get a victory point.
Yeah.
So that put me over.
Oh, is that why you ended up, because we were tied, but then you're like, oh, no, wait, I'm 1 spot ahead of you.
Yes.
That's why?
That's why.
Okay.
And then I was able to do one last thing that put me up just one more after you got a victory point. And... that was really good. Getting close to each other, and then you're like, oh no, and then being able to pull ahead. I wasn't that far ahead. I wasn't that far ahead at all. I was able to pull it out because I had more money at the end. Yeah.
For me, mine was probably filling 2 orders in 1 turn.
That was pretty impressive.
Was so satisfying, and that's.
I tried to do that. I was so damn close.
Yeah. That's a question. That's a conversation I want to have in this podcast when we do our next Stegmaier game, which will be Tapestry.
Okay.
And I want to do that before the month of December is over. Just because there's... So, spoiler alert for listeners when I talk about this game right now. Tapestry is this awesome game. But I don't know why I think it's fun. And so, that's a question, and ever since, I got Tapestry and I played it, I've been thinking to myself, what specifically makes a game fun? And why? And for this game, I know it's because it's hard work to make a freaking bottle of wine. So when you sell it, you feel good. You feel like
accomplished. You feel like you did something.
Yeah. But in Tapestry, on paper, it's the most boring game in the world. You're moving cubes up tracks, and then when it passes a certain point on the track, there's a little picture of a building, and you get that building, and you put it on a little grid. And then you just keep going up the track. And it's amazing. I love the game. And I want to have a conversation of what makes games fun and addicting and and like what makes them satisfying and why. Why does moving a little bit of wood up a little track like feel good?
I don't think we should be having this conversation. This could get racy.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't do that very well.
Either. That's the best thing. Yeah, so my favorite moment was when I was able to fill 2 wine orders in one go, because, man, but then immediately afterwards I looked at my mat and I'm like, where'd all my wine go? Like, I'm going to have to work so hard to restock my cellars of wine.
Like, you really screwed yourself. I mean,
I emptied out my cellars.
You emptied your cellars, and you basically had nothing in your
I had a couple
fields.
grapes in my crush pads.
That's it.
But, yeah, I was almost starting at ground zero again for my wine.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah. So it's really interesting because like I said, it feels like hard work making these wine bottles, and it's so good. It's so satisfying when you finally get to turn in that order.
Oh yeah. Like one of my things, I was lucky enough to start off with one, with an order, so I had something to where I had an idea of what to work towards almost immediately, where you didn't. Okay, what?
When I die,
yeah.
I want to be cremated. It's my last chance to have a smoking hot body. So why couldn't he get the watch? If he's so good at diving.
Because it went underneath the boat. I don't know.
He was sailing in the Dead Sea. Due to the high salt concentration...
Yes, all you had to say was Dead Sea.
He couldn't dive deep enough to get the watch back. Anthony, you are the winner. Congratulations.
What does he win?
I don't know. Respect. He gets to laugh at you.
Who doesn't fucking laugh at me? No! They're all gonna laugh at you!
So yeah, he asked the body of water question just like you. I'm like, oh, this is sounding familiar. Like, I wonder if Dan will get it.
I forgot.
And then you lost the thread.
I did. I was like, oh, look, a butterfly.
You asked the right question, didn't follow up. Yeah, you went off in a different direction after that.
I always do that.
Yeah.
So close, and then my ADD gets the best of me, and I'm like,
yeah. So that's Viticulture with the Tuscany expansion. Highly recommend if you want to play a worker placement game about making wine, especially if you like Stegmaier games. You want to check this one out, but with the Tuscany expansion is what I would say.
I'd say this is a must play if you like worker placement games. If you are a fan of Stegmaier games, definitely try out the original. Like not the original, but like try one of his very first games. Yeah. This thing was a lot of fun.
Yeah. If you're hesitant on forking out money for a game and the expansion, get the app for $6 on your iPad or Android device. That's how I first tried it.
Yeah.
Again, it was fun. Again, it's the base game, so I was bored. I've never finished a game digitally because I just can't. Even against like 3 other AI opponents, I still just I can't.
I can't do it, Captain.
can't.
I just don't have the power.
But Tuscany, like, if you can still get the idea of how it feels, and then you'll know, like, oh, the Tuscany one, like, makes it better. So
I mean, I enjoyed it.
It's really good. It's really good. So, all right, that will do it for this week, everyone. If you want to see more of me, in January, I will be on one of Jamey Stegmaier's videos. I won't say more than that because I don't know if I'm
allowed to.
Like, I didn't sign an NDA or anything, but I don't want to spoil it for him. I respect him too much for that. But
that's cool. And if you want to see more of me, what the hell is wrong with you?
Exactly. I mean, hi. How are you?
Well, my latest project did finally come out. I
don't
know if it's,
that's right.
I don't know if it's out on any streaming or anything yet, but take a look at Norjack by Valorian Films. If you can find it, watch it, and tell me what you think about it, guys.
Yeah, definitely. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
It's cool to see you back in a film again.
Yeah, I mean, I only did it like almost 4 years ago.
Well,
but
that'll happen, especially with indie shoots and things like that.
Well, I'm hoping to get some more stuff coming in next year. So,
yeah, that's real cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So if you have any recommendations from us, or if you agree or disagree to our reviews, feel free to contact us. We want to hear from you. We really do. If you are listening to this on YouTube, comment on the video. Message us on Facebook. Email us at gamesoboard@gmail.com, or just go to gamesoverboard.com and you'll find a contact button there and send us a message.
Yeah. Find us on YouTube. Put a little, what are those things called? Comments on the video,
Yep.
Tell us what you think. Make fun of me like everyone else does. Just don't care anymore.
And spread the word.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. So, we just really appreciate all the kind words, and Dan has been spreading the word a lot, and he hears from people all the time, of others that listen to it. I hear from a couple people that listen to it, but not nearly as many as Dan. So just keep spreading the word about us. Wellhouse Exorcism, word's getting out pretty nicely, but that's a much broader niche,
than what we have.
Yeah, so
we're just two dorky little geeks who like to play board games.
Exactly. So we appreciate any help you guys can give us in getting our names out there. And if you want us to go back to designer interviews, let us know. I'll start emailing some people if you want to hear us talk to anyone. I would like to talk to Rob Davio or Isaac Childress at some point. That'd be really cool.
If you are a game developer and you're listening, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you.
Absolutely. So speaking of our two Kickstarters.
Oh yes,
that we the designers that we interviewed. We got their games.
Yes. So one of them we've had for a little bit now, but we just got the official set and some expansions that he brought out.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to play the expansions. The base game.
Are you going to give the name of it?
Yes. Party Wanted. Guys, it's out there now. Find it.
Yeah.
Play it.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you'll love it. It is a drinking game. You do not have to drink to enjoy the hell out of this game.
Yeah. He does. Eric does Twitch streams all the time of them playing the game, and it's just a blast.
Absolutely.
And then also we got Conspiracy.
And I'm so excited about this game. When we did the interview with them about it, it sounded like so much fun, and just how excited they were.
Yeah, and they're just like the nicest people in the world.
They were so nice.
Oh my gosh.
So I would love to have another conversation with everybody that we've talked to in the past year, and follow up with them, especially the ones that have been successful in getting their games out there, and our friends who have not been so successful. I would love to talk with you guys again as well if you're listening,
because they're still working on doing reprints or doing a second attempt at both of their, both of the people that didn't have, weren't successful. They are working on it. So I can't wait to hear where they are in the process.
Right. And, we do have standing invitations to play these on Tabletop Simulator to get an idea for the games, and I would love to do this because doing this has given us the opportunity to talk to so many really cool people out there, and they're all different walks of life that came and did these games.
And one last thing before we say goodbye, and this is a biggie that I might cut to the beginning of the episode too, or maybe just next week we'll do it. But I have been playing around with the idea of doing a live stream. That way we can play a game, we can talk with you guys back, have it back and forth. But I want to make sure that people will actually tune in and want to interact with us and everything. So, we know you're out there. We know you listen. If you would like to do that, if you want to spend some time with us and interact with us and watch a Twitch stream or YouTube live stream, whatever it may be, let us know. We would love to do that.
Yes, I think that would be fantastic. Guys, let us know what you want to see.
Yes, 100%.
If you want to see.
All right, that'll do it for this week.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for listening to us. Spread the word and have a great holiday.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.